Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good day and you're staying safe. I'm Sesa Gill, a legal intern at Lexis and Company, and today I'm going to be talking about the Indian Partnership Act 1932. So this act came into force on the 1st October 1932, and the present act suspended the earlier law which was contained in the chapter 11 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. So, the meaning of partnership, according to Section 4 of the Indian Partnership Act, is that a partnership is a relationship between a person who has agreed to share the profit of the business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Now, the number of members that are part of a partnership, any two or more members may form a partnership. There is no limit imposed on the minimum or the maximum number of partnership under the Partnership Act, but according to the Companies Act 2013, the maximum number should not exceed 100 in case of a partnership, and the minimum is 2. So let's talk about the essentials of a partnership firm. First is agreement. So the partnership is an agreement in which two or more people have decided to carry out the business and share the profit and losses equally. To create a legal relationship, it is necessary to form a partnership agreement. The partnership agreement becomes the on foundation or the basis on which it is based. It can be written or oral. The written agreement is known as a partnership deed. Now the second essential is business, which comes under article 12 of the Indian Partnership Act. The partnership must be carried out for the purpose of carrying the business, which is legal in nature. Co-ownership of property does not amount to partnership. Mutual agencies, the business is carried out by all of them or any one of them on the basis of all. Each partner is entitled to carry out the business. A mutual agency exists between the partners. Each partner is a principal as well as an agent for the other partners. He is bound by the act of other partners, as well as can bind others on his own act. Sharing of profit is another essential. The agreement is to share profit and losses amongst the partners. The sharing of profit and losses can be according to the ratio of the capital contributed or equally. It helps to distribute the burden amongst the partners in case when the partners suffer from losses. So now we're going to talk about the types of partners. An active partner, first is an active partner or a managing partner. An active partner is also known as an ensemble partner. As the name suggests, he takes active participation in the firm and the running of the business. He carries out on a daily business on the behalf of all partners. It means that he acts as an agent of all the other partners on a day-to-day basis, and he regards to ordinary business of the firm with regard to an ordinary business of the firm. Hence, he's an active partner wishes to retire. Hence, when an active partner wishes to retire from the firm, he must give a public notice for the same. This was unsolved. This would absolve him all from the acts done by the other partners after his retirement. Unless he gives a public notice, he is liable for all acts even after his retirement. Second is a dormant or sleeping partner. This is a partner that does not participate in the daily functioning of the partnership firm. That is, he does not take an active part on the daily activities of the firm. He is, however, bound by action of all the other partners. He will continue to share the profit and losses of the firm, even bring his share of the capital like any other partner, and if such a dormant partner retires, he need not give a public notice for the same. Now there's a nominal partner. This is a partner that does not have a real or a significant interest in the partnership. So he in essence he's only leading his name, lending his name to the partnership. Will not um, he will not make any capital contribution to the firm, and so he will not have a share in the profit either. But a nominal partner will be liable to outsiders and third parties for acts done by him or any other partner. Now let's talk about partners for in profit only. This partner will not share the profit with the firm. He will not be liable for any liabilities. Even when dealing with the third parties, he's not liable for all acts of profit only. He will be liable for all acts in profit only. He will share none of the liabilities. The last partner that we're going to be talking about today is the partner by estoppel. So if a person holds out to another that he is a partner of the firm, either by his word, action, or conduct, in such a partner cannot deny that he's not a partner. This basically means that even though a person is not a partner, he has represented himself as such, and so he becomes partner by estoppel or partner by holding out. So I hope this was an interesting topic and you got to know about the Indian Partnership Act 1932. Thank you so much for watching.